Joint suture theory has gained a load of attention for its potential to enhance facial features and structures naturally through things like thumb pulling, zygomatic pushing, mewing. But while the concept is fascinating, there are some things that people still don't understand about it or are getting wrong. In this video, I'm going to cover the biggest misunderstandings about joint suture theory. I'll highlight the common mistakes that people are making when they practice it, and I'll explain how you can avoid every single pitfall that will be holding you back. So the first misconception is that sutures are highly flexible in adults. That's one of the biggest misconceptions, that people think that your sutures are still highly flexible as you age. While it's true that throughout your life, these joints will retain a small amount of malleability, the degree of flexibility decreases significantly as you age. In reality, it is children and teens that are going to have the best success when responding to external forces on these sutures. And this is because their bones are still growing. Think about why sutures are even there in the first place. Take your skull, for example. As your brain expands, it is going to push against the inner walls of your skull. This pressure on all of the sutures throughout the skull is the trigger for it to say it needs to grow. So it makes sense that when you stop growing and you go into adulthood, that these sutures fuse. The key takeaway here is if you're over 25, don't expect any dramatic results. Yes, your sutures are technically still malleable, but it might not be significant enough to see any change whatsoever. So for anyone over 25 in here, not to worry, there are still loads of things that you can do to improve the way you look. It's just that this concept can't apply to you. The second misconception is that it's a quick fix. People think they'll start thumb pulling or zygomatic pushing or mewing all the time, and within a couple months, they'll look great. And the truth is, a lot of people give up because they don't see any results because they've stuck at it for a month. You have to understand that skeletal remodeling is an extremely slow process. It can take many months or even years to see significant improvements. And even when changes do occur, they are often subtle and less dramatic. So the key takeaway from here is that patience and consistency is completely crucial. Think of the joint suture theory and all of the practices that go along with it as a long-term investment for your health and looks. The third misconception is that more pressure equals better results. A lot of people assume that applying more pressure is going to lead to more significant results over time, especially when it comes to things like mewing or thumb pulling. This is not only incorrect, but it can also be harmful. Excessive pressure can cause soreness, tension in your jaw, misalignment of your teeth, or damage to the soft tissues in your mouth. These sutures respond to consistent, gentle force over a long period of time. That's one of the reasons I like mewing so much as opposed to thumb pulling. This is because your sutures respond less well to aggressive or forceful manipulation. Like I said earlier, when your brain grows, think about how slow and subtle that process is, but also think about how consistent that process is. Another misconception is that it works the same for everyone. A lot of people think that everyone will see the same results from doing all of these practices, but it's simply not true. The truth is that results are going to vary based on your age, your genetics, your bone structure, and your consistency of practice. Younger individuals are going to see better results because their bones are more malleable. So it's important to understand and assess your own limitations so that you can limit the expectations of your results from this. Your results will be unique to your circumstances. Those are the misconceptions. Now let's talk about the common pitfalls. These are the most common mistakes that people make when doing all of these practices. It is inconsistent practice, improper technique, mouth breathing, and neglecting your overall health. A lot of people start strong, but they don't stick with it. In terms of things like technique, engaging the back third of your tongue is crucial when you're mewing, or applying even pressure when you're zygomatic pushing so you don't create any imbalances. For mouth breathing, some of you guys mouth breathe in your sleep and you don't even know it. And when I mention health, I'm referencing things like a poor diet or poor posture, or even a lack of exercise can limit your overall progress. So to ensure that you skip all of these pitfalls, learn the proper techniques, track your progress, focus on nasal breathing, and be extremely patient. This is a very long-term investment. As always, keep asking questions. Let me know in the chat how your progress is going, and let me know if you have any questions. Much love, gang.